coach, that he squandered the talent that he overpaid for with this kid in Philadelphia. That was reason to fire Chip Kelly in Philadelphia enough. But
you gotta wonder though, is he special, or was he a product of that that murderer's row of Dallas offensive linemen they have there?
No, he's special.
Yeah,
okay.
He's fluid, man. He looks good in that Titan jersey too. I mean, he's. I know they built their offensive line over the last handful of years in the draft, but I do believe that. I agree, Tommy. I think Derrick Henry is very, very good quality. He's going to be a quality NFL football player. My only concern with him is if he were to have to carry the ball 20 or 25 times like we see Murray carry. He might wear it down a little bit.
It's nice to split him. Yep. Nice to split him. Murray is a bell cow. He can tote the rock 25, 30 times if he absolutely has to. I mean, 25 seems to be that magic number for him to start popping.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had a soft spot for him in this way, because I saw what the Cowboys did to him was terrible. They ran him into the ground that season. They kept Tony. I mean, it was a good plan. They kept Tony Romo upright, and they won a lot of games. But they ran that kid into the ground and then told him, "Thanks for your services, but we're not paying you." I thought that was totally wrong, but I guess
they did.
Business.
They shit on him. On him. He got a year off in Philadelphia. He got a year to get healthy, and I think that may have helped him.
He really did. I mean, it was kind of one of those things. Hindsight's 20/20. He had the option. You stay in Dallas and you win, and you have success behind a good offensive line, or you go to a system that totally does not fit you at all.
Yeah,
but take the max money. I mean, he looked at it on the perspective of, I'm a running back. I realize what it is. I have only a limited amount of time to get the money before my career could be over. So I don't blame him one bit. But it is what it is. Sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, that's it. And he had to go get a paycheck. These guys deserve. They're going to put this wear and tear in their body. They got a real small window to make a whole bunch of money. They got to jump on it, so I don't blame the kid at all. But I think that that might be an interesting game. I think he's a good player, and let's see what the Titans look like going down the road. Maybe in a year or two they're a competitive team that's going to compete to win a division. But the game of the week, in my eyes, is Sunday night at 8 o'clock. I know where I'll be. I don't know where you'll be.
Just win, baby.
I don't know where you'll be, Peeps, but I know where I will be. I honestly don't know where I will be either, and that's probably not a good thing. But keep it going. It's not, but we know people. Somebody can help you out.
I'll be fine. I'll come back to you, honey.
I'm sure you will. Denver Broncos travel to take on the Oakland Raiders. This is a division matchup that hasn't meant much over the last 12 years. Is it 12 years or 14 years, Pepperjack? 14 years.
14, yeah. 02.
Yeah, hasn't really been a game of much meaning for some time. The Raiders have snuck in there and had Denver's number on a few occasions. I know in the Tom Cable days they've stuck it to the Donkeys a couple times. This is the one that really matters for me. The Raiders are a 2-point favorite as I see it, but that is fluctuated to a pick'em, to 1 point, to 1.5, to 2, to 1, to a pick'em. Over under at 43.5 up to 44. Who wants to start it?
I will. I just want to make this clear. I am on the Raider bandwagon because I know my Jets are garbage. I've accepted that and I've moved on. I'm on the Raider bandwagon this year. I love Derek Carr. I think that kid can sling it. Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper, those are weapons. I would just like to see the Raiders tighten up that defense a little bit. I think that's a concern.
It's getting better.
But they bend, but they don't break. I think that's I think it's fair to say. But oh man, do I want to see? I love this game. And I think it's going to be a very good game. I think the revenge factor will come into play. I really do. I think the Raiders are going to come out and they're going to stick it. They're going to beat Denver. I don't like this Broncos team for the fact I love their defense, but I don't think Trevor Siemian at the end of the day is going to take you. Could he win you a division? Yes. Can he win you a championship? No. I'm going just win, baby. Raiders. I'll take them.
Peeps is taking the Oakland Raiders.
I am.
You got
I believe it. I believe in this team. I think it's going to be a good one. I think you're in for a good one. Is this game in Denver or in Oakland? Just want to clear that up.
No.
It's in. You said Oakland?
It's in the black hole. Yep.
Oh, they're going to pull it out in the black hole in a thriller. 24-21. Seabass is going to hit this time. 24-21. Raiders.
I hope it doesn't come down to Seabass, but maybe I do. Pepperjack, you want it?
Man, I'm telling you, I've been waiting I've been waiting years for this game, and anybody that's been a diehard Raider fan like myself and like you, Tommy, know one thing, that there comes a time when Raiders play big games that they just don't show up. I'm hoping, I'm praying that Jack Del Rio has that. They spent 2 weeks in Florida.
Pepper Jack, can I add something?
Sure.
2016 is a new year. The Chicago Cubs won the World Series. It happened. The Raiders are going. This is a new year. This is a new Raiders team. Believe.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, Jack Del Rio, to this point in the season, seems to be the ultimate motivator for that team. I think the players like him. I think the players are playing for him. I did see where Amari Cooper is questionable this week with a back injury, and I know Aqib Talib is out. I don't know what that's going to mean. Derek Carr's going to see a lot of pressure from that Denver front. We're going to find out if Derek Carr is capable of being like Tom Brady-like or Aaron Rodgers-like. He's made great strides this year. Raiders' defense does have a lot of holes. I'll go with you there, Joey. 67% of the betting public believes Denver is going to win this game. This one here is just
go with Joey Peeps. Go with Joey Peeps. Pepper Jack. Take the quarterbacks. Derek Carr over Trevor Siemian all day long.
I cannot go against my Raiders even in this matchup. This is my heart speaking. I do think the betting part of me believes Denver wins the game, but I'm sticking with the Raiders. I'm thinking close.
I have a feeling we're in for a good one on Sunday night. I'm sorry I keep interrupting you. Get a little wound up.
I think 23-21 Raiders, and I think Seabass hits the game-winning field goal.
Good for you, man. I'm feeling you too. Love it.
321.
But I would definitely take Denver +7 if I could get them on one side of a teaser. How's that?
Yeah, I would too. I
love it, and I love that gambler side in you too. Even better.
This game has tight written all over it. The Raiders' defense has had 2 good weeks, but they've done it against 2 bad offenses. Jacksonville is a bad offense. It's surprising. I thought they would be better than they are, but it was bad. But the Raiders really shut them down 2 weeks ago in Jacksonville. Last week against Tampa, that Raider defense played exceptionally well. It's deceptive because it did go into overtime. The Raiders had 200-plus yards over those 23 penalties. On, I believe, 6 occasions, those penalties were on 3rd and long, and it kept the Buccaneer offense on the field, and it led to 2 Buccaneer touchdowns. Raider defense, they got their 3 and outs when they needed it. They got them really nicely done, and late in the fourth quarter it was enough to keep it rolling and win that game in Tampa. I think the defense is improving. I don't think that Trevor Siemian is a great quarterback. I think he is as moderate and right down the middle as it gets. He's very basic.
Like I said, he's good enough. He's good enough to win them that division if it comes down to it. But he is not good enough to win them a Super Bowl. I can't believe in that.
Okay, so the big issue is the Raiders are a bad home team. They have not played well at home. They did lose a fluky game to the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's a pretty good football team. If anybody did watch that, it was a tip pass, led to Atlanta winning the game. They haven't played well at home, and this is their time to show up. I don't know if the pressure of being in front of a home crowd, this newfound ability to win, I don't know what it is, but they've got to settle in. It is a primetime game. It might be too much because Derek Carr has been guilty of getting pretty worked up before games start and letting the emotions take over. I think the ground game has to be part of the Raiders' plan. They cannot rely on airing it out like they did against the Buccaneers. So Latavius Murray has to be fleet of foot. He's got to be healthy. He's got to hit holes. The offensive line last week in the heat in Tampa Bay was absolutely awesome. They protected Derek Carr and kept him clean as a whistle the whole game. If they can do that against guys like Von Miller, then the Raiders can win this game. If they don't, same old shit. You could see some ugliness because that Denver defense does penetrate pretty well. I'm going to take the Raiders because I can't not, but I'm going to bite my nails leading up to this one. I think the Raiders have the ability to win this game, and I think they do. I think they win it 20-17. The late Seabass field goal is not what's going to happen. They're going to be down 17-13 into the fourth quarter, and Carr is going to drive downfield and win this one at home for the touchdown.
24-21, 20-17. You say tomato, I say tomato.
Hey, Tom, I think you're right. A lot of the thoughts that you brought up. One of the things, though, the Raiders do have to do is play a clean game against Denver.
They really do.
They cannot afford 23 penalties. And if I know you've watched them all season. How many touchdowns have they had called back due to penalties?
I would say 2 for sure.
Yeah, there's been a handful of them.
Have there?
Yeah, and like I said, the penalties cannot come into play offensive line, I do believe, will protect Carr. I do believe you're right that Latavius Murray is going to have to hit the hole hard. I do see a lot of Devontae Booker, though, if he's healthy. A lot of running from Denver because I don't think Simeon is the answer in Denver.
I don't think he is, but I'll tell you what, that Raider defense looked really impressive against the Buccaneers. Now, granted, that was Jacquez Rodgers, and he was hurt, and it was Antoine Smith in the fourth quarter. And Tampa is not a good football team to all my local listeners in the Tampa Bay area. You can stop with the Jameis Winston in the Hall of Fame bullshit. You can stop right now. You can stop if you're one of our local publications here likes to refer to Jameis Winston as America's quarterback.
Jameis Winston's not even in the Hall of Mediocre right now.
No, he's not. But they refer to him as America's quarterback. They can cut that shit right now.
That's funny.
He's not even Tampa's quarterback. He's been not very good. But it was telling. The Raider offensive line is very, very good. It's what they thought it would be coming into the season. But if they can't run the ball, and if they can't, like Pepper Jack just said, if they can't clean it up, you can't have. And they were shit penalties too. Now I don't know if a lot of that came from them staying at the Ritz-Carlton last week, and maybe their walkthrough was being done in the lobby. But if you notice the penalties in that game, you had a lot of hands to the face. You had 12 men in the huddle on 3 separate occasions. You had mental errors. You had couldn't get off the field in time. They were all mental mistakes, and they just weren't very crisp, and that probably added 6 or 7 penalties. A lot of the holding calls were legitimate calls, you got to call it, but they can't do that against a team like Denver. You can get away with it against Tampa, as Atlanta showed the other night. You can get away with a lot against Tampa because they stink. But, I think the Raiders win the game. It's a close one. But this is the put your flag in the ground in the AFC West and say, now we're the best team. The tide has turned. Or we're still going to try to play catch-up between Denver and Kansas City. So I think this is a big one for the Raiders. There's a lot of pressure, a lot riding on it. But it should be a great one. Everybody out there should enjoy it.
One of the things I wanted to bring up, and I know we're running late, real quick, though, Jack Del Rio. Donald Penn scores a touchdown against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers he started. And this is the reason why I mentioned earlier that I believe these players rally around this guy because he does things like that. He throws a touchdown pass to his tackle in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So that man could get a little bit of love out of
That's right. And Blackjack and Bill Musgrave, and I read the article about it. They told Donald Penn coming into that Tuesday morning when they were in Sarasota at the Ritz-Carlton, they called him in and said, we know this is a homecoming for you, and you want to stick it to him. So I think Donald Penn had 4 career touchdowns coming into this, so they know this is something he can do. Stick it to him. Get down inside the 5. We're going to try to get you the ball. And they sure as shit on a penalty got down to the 1. And that's textbook. Just a dive play to Latavius Murray, and they went out of their way to get Donald Penn involved in that offense and give him the opportunity to look over to the sideline and go, thank you for cutting me because I'm on a better team. So, I think you're right. I think that goes a long way in a locker room. It goes a long way when a player can knock on Coach's door and walk in and say, Coach, I got to talk to you about something. That goes a long way even with rich, pampered professional athletes. It's good stuff from Jack Del Rio. I like it. So the last game of the week is a Monday night stinker, if you ask me. Buffalo all the way out to the great Northwest, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle's a 7-point favorite, 44-point total here. I'm going to make this quick. Seattle spanks them. Buffalo won't be able to travel well in this game. Seattle's got to find a wave to ride here. I think they do against Buffalo. Seattle's going to win this game 24-16.
All day, every day. Buffalo's not going across the country, and even they're not even. You're right. They're not even going to put a game against the Seattle Seahawks defense. Seattle is they're licking their wounds off a tough loss in New Orleans. Don't take it for a letdown again against Buffalo, especially at home. Yeah, I'm all over Seattle. I'll make it quick too. I'll even go as far as say 28-7.
28-7.
Yeah, Buffalo's going to have nothing against this team. Nothing.
Only thing that scares me is the fact that Russell Wilson has not thrown a touchdown pass in 3 games. I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson.
He will tomorrow. He will Monday night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on with him. I do see Seattle beating Buffalo 28-16. Thank you.
28-16. I like it. You and I are on a similar page there. That 16 number keeps rearing its head.
I don't think Buffalo's going to get that many. I think they're going to get embarrassed out there. I hope so too. I love watching Rex Ryan's misery. I mean, a part of it is emotion. I won't lie, but to see Rex Ryan's misery is awesome to me.
It can be. So on that level, folks, we've covered it all. We've emptied the tank as far as our picks go in Week 9, the Line Sports Talk podcast. Make sure that before you do anything else that you get your ass up early tomorrow morning and you get your Sunday Swim picks in. Check out our friends, if you haven't already, at sundayswim.com. I know that I am